For thousands of years, dreams have been one of the most alluring and enticing, but equally fleeting and deceptive study subjects. The dreamlike mirages, delusions, hallucinations, and the nightmares, the dreams that happen only once in a lifetime and the ones that keep coming back, the good, the bad, and the ugly, the night terrors, dreams about mundane things and the supernatural. They all happen to us, adults, children, and even animals. And among them, we've got the prophetic dreams, with their multi-themed scenes that demand being deciphered and interpreted. The dream researchers are trying their best to penetrate the mysterious nature of their hidden meanings. To become interested in sleep is enough to realize its importance in human life. The sleep activity is a necessity that constitutes about 1/3 of our life. Without this cyclical pause, we wouldn't be able to function. Sleep brings rest from waking activity and switches the brain and the entire body to reset. It frees you from the automatism of actions and the routine of everyday life and connects you to the mother nature. Above all, it allows you to experience moments of direct contact with our imagination, free from all the prohibitions and limitations. In the face of the wealth of dreams, we wake up amazed, delighted, stunned, resentful, shocked, terrified by their content and the incredible course.
Są w ogóle taką przestrzenią, w której gdzieś ta podświadomość, czyli to, co w nas ukryte, trochę wychodzi na wierzch. To jest taki moment, w którym trochę już przestajemy kontrolować albo przykrywać pewne rzeczy, które są dla nas, nie wiem, niewygodne, trudne. I sny są takim momentem, w którym to wszystko, co w nas siedzi głęboko, ma szansę gdzieś się pojawić, wyjść na wierzch, dać jakiś nam sygnał.
Millions of dreams are lost every day without receiving any attention. The fictional visional side of dreams seems to ask the question of the most simply understood referentiality or kind of advanced fabrication. Does this mean that the dreamlike fictions we all participate in often lie? Do dreams deceive us? Do they demand confirmation of the status of their truthfulness and the correct reading? Or for which no key or appropriate cipher exists? Or do the categories of falsehood and truth do not apply when it comes to sleep and dreaming? Or maybe dream visions is just an audiovisual nightmare or hallucination that means nothing. It's just a visual noise and chaos of scattered signals without any reasonable explanation. Why do we want to discover the meaning of our dreams? And why not? Psychologists and psychoanalysts agree that it is neither easy or entirely certain regarding the expected meaning of the found interpretation keys. Sometimes it doesn't work out and the dream vision disappears forever, leaving it completely unexplained. This applied not only to poetic dreams, which occur extremely rarely, but also to those, so to speak, standard and prosaic ones, with, due to their frequency and repetition, constitute the absolute majority of dreamlike activities. But the latter also sometimes contains an intriguing mystery. Before diving into the dream visions, let's remember what dreams are. Dreams are primarily occurring during the rapid eye movement stage, so REM stage of the sleep, and are intriguing biological phenomenon. The REM stage is marked by heightened brain activity linked to the wakefulness, playing a vital role in emotional process and memory consolidation. Dreams are a complex blend of memories, thoughts, and emotions, often unfolding as vivid narratives. They contribute to emotional regulation, problem solving, and cognitive development. The diversity of dream, ranging from the mundane to surreal, offers an insight to our conscious experiences and subconscious thoughts, highlighting the intricate nature of human mind. Understanding dreams is essential for our psychological well-being. When it comes to characteristics of the dream visions that happen to us, one fundamental feature of each dream is beyond discussion. This feature is a specific understanding of truthfulness. Dreams as an activity and a product happens to us and comes to us naturally and directly. It announces and communicates to us things that are comprehensible but also pure. The process of symbolic encoding a dream message, in addition to symbols, various other semantic tropes and expressive means, a whole range of them, dissipates as an essential reality. Above all, in the course of the dream itself, and then its disclosure throughout description, the meditation of narratives makes itself felt each time. The narrative in the dream, just like the narrative surrounding the dream after waking up, turns out to be an indispensable factor during a dream. The dream tells, the dream presents, the dream gifts. What is an interesting and worth emphasizing is a narrative and thus necessary and sacred process that appears not only in the dream, but also after the fact when we reconstruct that what we dreamed, recalling the dream in memory and then telling it to someone else or writing it down. But how much confidence can we have in a dream told after the fact? The answer is simple: the trust is necessarily limited. Sigmund Freud said, the scope of waking dreams is extremely diminished and compared to the rich material that gave rise to them. There is no dream without the participation of an oniric narrative. There is no story about what it was like, how it developed, what was in it, what was not there, what we dreamed of, what we presented and said, without activating the intermediary mode of narrative. In fact, whenever we talk about what we dream, we become reconstructors of the story. That is a report, objective account of something in the past. When we analyze and interpret a dream, we tend to be its deconstructors, operating a scalpel of a memory in the extremely delicate, subtle and non-obvious fleeting tissue of oniric text. The dream is there, the dream disappears. It begins, it lasts until we wake up, then it dissipates and disappears. Its ephemeral nature is characterized by such a degree of hazy airiness of immaterial dream matter that it seems to be a text without a text. And in fact, it is something like that. It greatly complicates the status of the subject of our inquiry. It was there, it barely existed, and it's gone. It disappeared like a fleeting phantom. It remains unavailable subsequently. We do not study dreams as such, but their narrative and linguistic emanation, which allows us to get closer to oniric spectacle, completed and recorded only in someone's fleeting memory. The thing about the oniric spectacle is that it appears in our lives, and as soon as we wake up, it disappears into oblivion. It's hard to say how much we lose from a dream when it ends. Certainly a lot. Whenever you try to capture and present it in a way that is accessible to you, you simplify it. Each retelling of a dream inevitably involves a choice and a selective reconstruction, and therefore a loss one way or another. What's more important is that it remains in our consciousness despite everything. This is where the process of self-cognition takes place. The process is limited, incomplete and full of defects of our memory. But this loss should not paralyze and discourage us from studying the phenomenon itself. If we compare a dream with a kind of a daydream, such as experiencing a theater or a cinema screening, then what remains in the viewer's memory is a tiny percentage of what they absorbed. Does this mean that sleep as a subject of scientific investigation de facto does not exist? We are doomed to only indirect testimonies about them. Well, not exactly. Materially speaking, yes. Dreams do not exist. They disappear upon awakening and remain a living memory recorded in the dreamer's mind. No one will deny that a given dream is a phenomenon that occurs in certain circumstances. It was there, it happened to someone, and therefore they cannot be treated as an absurd event or a manifestation of chaos, but as a meaningful message. Whenever we tell what we dreamed, the natural act of dreaming, accessible to everyone, gains cultural expression. Natural discovers its symbolic meaning, and the exact moment it becomes not only a product of nature, but a cultural phenomena. The dream passes, but the cultural echo continues. Sometimes it lasts for centuries. Cultural adaptations of the dreams have been taking place in history of human culture continuously since the ancient times. You have Gilgamesh, pharaohs, Greek myths, the Delphic oracles, the Odyssey, the tales of the 1001 Nights, the famous men Mekelefares of the wall of the Babylonian palace during the feast given by the Balthazar, a collection of prophetic dreams in Old and New Testament. It's seems to have no end. Drawing wisdom and creative inspiration from the dreams is not an often appreciated aspect of the history of evolution of the species known as Homo sapiens, or, if you prefer, Homo sapiens. Carl Gustav Jung was one of the few that saw the dreaming process in its entirety written in an ancient but still symbolic language. The language that has fascinated his teacher, Sigmund Freud, who studied Hamlet and closely looked at Dali's paintings. Jung also did the same, seeing an analogy with dreams in artistic activities. Science in both of them intertwines and constantly meets with art. The boundaries of those fields are deliberately abolished. The social-cultural translation of dreams, their disclosure and examination, occurs through art and its multiple languages. Each era has the keys and preferences in that respect. 18th century Joseph Addison noticed a sparkling analogy between a dream and a play, suggesting that human soul, released from the body during the sleep, becomes the theater, the audience, and the actors simultaneously. Let us take a deeper look in the history. Dreams have been a source of inspiration, guidance, and mysticism for cultures across the globe, transcending the geographical, temporal, and spiritual boundaries. In the ancient texts of the Bible, dreams are deciphered as profound channels of divine communication, with numerous accounts of prophetic visions guiding kings and shaping the destinies. Similarly, pre-Christian societies around the world held dreams in high esteem, often viewing them as sacred messages from God's ancestors or spirit world. Focusing on Slavs, this reverence for dreams finds a unique expression in Slavic culture.
Wydaje mi się, że na początku trzeba było sobie zdać sprawę z tego, że sny, przynajmniej tak jak nam się wydaje, domniemujemy, że sny dzielono na podstawowe takie grupy, to znaczy jakieś mary senne bez znaczenia, gdzie przenikają się przeróżne codzienne jakieś czynności powtarzalne w kółko, i sny, które są nie do końca snami. Ten sen, który miał nam coś przekazać, jakąś informację, wiedzę, jakieś znaki, to już nie do końca był sen, taki powiedzmy ten sen prekognicyjny. Ale to nie do końca było nazywane jakby bezpośrednio snem, tylko pewnym takim właśnie czymś, co albo się ostrzeżeniem, że zbliża się coś złego, albo dobrego. Na tą kwestię tych zwykłych snów, które specjalnie nie miały znaczenia, je jakby odrzucano i zdawano sobie sprawę z tego, że one nie są istotne, bo to są pewne te mary powtarzalnych czynności codziennie i znanych rzeczy, i te wyjątkowe sny, swego rodzaju prekognicyjne, czy też można by je jeszcze nazwać strefą kontaktową z innymi światami, z innymi bytami, które zdarzają się znacznie rzadziej.
This rich tradition of dream interpretation and the symbolic meaning ascribed to various dreams elements reflect the deep spiritual underpinning and the mystical worldview that characterizes Slavic folklore and the cultural practices.
Chłop szedł na to miejsce, gdzie ten dom miał stanąć, i spędzał tam całą noc. Palił ognisko, patrzył na dym, patrzył na ogień, no i przespał się tam. I w zależności od tego, co mu się śniło, interpretował to, czy to jest dobre, czy złe miejsce, czy zawładnęły tym dobre duchy, czy złe duchy i tak dalej.
We are all poets and some of us are surrealists. Human sleep appears to be a phenomena that is both universal and consistent, representing a well-known aspect of the existential experience of Homo sapiens, the dreaming man, throughout the history and its modern times. In the Everyday Dreams section in his book, The Book of Dreams, Jorge Luis Borges refers to the age-old categorization of dreams. He distinguishes between ordinary, mundane dreams that reflect daily life and the significant dreams thought to be inspired by the divine influence. Ancient Roman writers scholars like Marcobius from the 5th century Anno Domini adhered strictly to this classification. They believed that ordinary everyday dreams lacked the divine element and they were not significant enough to warrant interpretation. Looking back at Poland, romantics such as Mickiewicz, Słowacki, Krasiński, and many more carefully studied dreams, drawing from their resources of inspiration for the flights of creative imagination. This was accompanied by the romantic philosophy of sleep saturated with fascination with the supernatural and the free from all limitation of matter. According to them, sleep revealed the spirit's elementary powers, allowing to wander and transferring between temporality and eternity, providing the dreamer with the experiences and unique ideas. It was also a form of deep contact with nature and the universe, providing knowledge about the essence of human personality. The dream that fascinated romantics so much became rediscovered again, this time in the formation of modernism. Dreams became extremely popular in modernism as a scientific and artistic reflection subject. Science and art came to meet each other. The modernist work of Wyspiański, Wojtkiewicz and many other artists from that period coincides and corresponds isomorphically with Freud's theory and the classical model of language represented by Ferdinand de Saussure. They believed that the effort of self-discovery has a specific price and is a work full of sacrifices. Modernist reflection of dream processes has brought considerable intellectual capital to humanity. If culture, as Sigmund Freud believed, acquires the sense of its functioning from the existence of prohibitions and orders, then our dreams and the freedom to dream whenever we want are the forefront of the eternal struggle between what is allowed and what is forbidden. Sleep frees the mind. It does not ban anything from the man. It allows everything, triggering the irresistibility, pushing forward the stream of images into the wild. However, not every dream makes us feel free. It depends on certain circumstances of our lives. Dreams are not random in that respect. The sense that they always occur in specific circumstances that concern us. In relation to dream, we can call it a creation of the register of one's experiences stored in the dreamer's memory. Its imaginative record always refers to the specific realities. The time distance is unnecessary. What matters is the return of a personal experience activated in a given moment, which does not give place to the dreamer's psyche, does not allow itself to be forgotten, and demands an outlet in our inner life in the form of disclosure. Under the rule of tyrants and dictators, the dream is entirely different. If we live in such circumstances, we also dream deprived of the right to choose and enslaved by the coercion of what is imposed by force of the authorities. A man enslaved and subjugated to permanent violence finally begins to dream about it. What is the difference between the authoritarian regime and democracy in the context of dreams? In the authoritarianism, people dream about what's ordered or forbidden, and in liberal democracy, they dream about whatever they want. A prime example of a dream, or rather a nightmare under totalitarian pressure on the individual, is The Mother's Anxious Nightmare in the Mirror, a film from 1978 by Andrzej Tarkowski. During this dream filled with horror, the newspaper's proofreader, Terrible Fear, is revealed. She has let an error into the print, for which she will pay a terrible repression from the authorities. The oppressive system destroys peace and annihilates the freedom of dream images. The dreamer then dreams about what threatens them on a daily basis. Even under the tyrants, there are exceptions from the time to time. In a dream, a person is a free individual. Joseph Brodsky comes to mind with his thought that a man is better off in an imperfect democracy than even in the greatest splendors of tyranny. An excellent illustration of this desire is provided by two Russian animated films dedicated to Brodsky by Andrei Krzanowski, A Cat and a Half from 2003 and A Room and a Half from 2009, both based on the narrative devices of the Oniric cinemas. A phenomenal sequence of escape dream of a first grader expelled from school who in panic tries to escape through the dreamlike city from Lenin, who is chasing him and panting for revenge on a defenseless boy. Let us assume that dreams are divided into two categories: ordinary dreams and the poetic ones. Transferring of the mind to the another dimension inherent in sleep makes it extraordinary in the complete sense of the word. Where is the place for the ordinariness? Are there any normal dreams? Well, it all depends on the definition of word ordinary. Even if it means a prosaic topic, a mundane course of the dreamed reality or of events, this does not yet categorically and convincingly support the notion of being an ordinary dream. A good example example here would be a dream scene from Konopielka, a film by Told Leszczyński. As demonstrated in the introduction to the Konopielka, simply describing a paradoxical dream is insufficient. Insightful elements of the dream are revealed in the subsequent sequence, marked by stark shift in mood. Additionally, Handzia's prompt interpretation of her dream upon awakening, converting it into her prediction of the future.
Na sztuki piękne wpływa bardzo mocno od lat 20. i jest cała plejada artystów, których można wymieniać, którzy o sen się opierają. Natomiast uważam, że taką interesującą ciekawostką, szczególnie dla kultury brytyjskiej, może być nasza grupa Onerion z Katowic, która sprowadziła do Polski lat 60. alchemię, tarota, legendy, które już zostały zapomniane albo nawet nieznane i która właśnie stricte surrealistycznie opierała swoje założenia twórcze także o sen, podróżując w tych różnych strefach, które się otwierają w człowieku pod wpływem nie tylko używek, ale także wpływów i filozofii wschodu, buddyzmu.
The group's approach of dreams expressed by their broader philosophy, which saw chaos as a fundamental aspect of existence. They believed that the world was sacred and it should be conveyed through symbols that vary across different cultural and historical contexts. This perspective allowed them to explore dreams as complex, multifaceted phenomena. Their performances, installations and artworks were designed to evoke dreamlike qualities and ambiguity, mystery and fluidity of the meaning. Diving deeper into the enigmatic world of dreams, it becomes evident that they are more than nightly escapades. They emerge as a confluence of metaphysical and metaphorical messages and personal guidance. My interviews across the spectrum of artists, researchers, and consistently revealed a reliance of dreams for profound insights and creative sparks.
Sny są dla mnie przestrzenią, w której przetrawiam projekty. Zdobywam materiał, który właśnie potem w snach zaczyna jakby się tworzyć na własny obraz, na takiej zasadzie, że te wszystkie składowe wrzucam do tej miski i sen jest tym momentem, kiedy one się mieszają i zaczynają wychodzić nowe autorskie twory, które potem realizuję w pracowni.
Sny przychodzą do mnie, kiedy jestem wypoczęta. Nie pojawiają się wtedy, kiedy jestem przeciążona i zestresowana, bo to są bardziej omamy. Sen jest dla mnie czymś, co przyszło spoza mnie, z mojej głębokiej podświadomości i staje się kierunkowskazem bardzo często do nowych dróg.
This exploration uncovers a solid cultural and familiar relevance for dreams. For many artists and researchers, they are not just fleeting thoughts of the night, but they are deeply intertwined with daily life and decision making. Dreams are often seen as mirrors reflecting our innermost thoughts, fears, and aspirations. They act as a catalyst for self-discovery, enabling individuals to delve into the labyrinth of their subconscious mind. This perspective is shared across various cultural narratives, where dreams are often considered divine messages or warnings, embedding them with a spiritual and mystical aura. Additionally, the interviews reveal historical and symbolic dimensions of the dreams. They have been subjects of fascinations and interpretations since ancient times, with each era and culture bestowing upon the unique meanings and roles. These conversations paint dreams as a multi-dimensional entities serving windows to our inner selves, sources of artistic and intellectual inspiration, and carry a cultural and spiritual significance. Through the interviews, there is a strong emphasis on the cultural and personal importance of dreams. In some families, dreams are regular discussion and reflection of the topics, suggesting a belief in their more profound meaning and significance. Another common theme is that people view dreams as tools for self-discovery, understanding their subconscious aspects. They are just perceived as gateways to a deeper self-awareness. Dreams are a space where we are all poets. Well, some of us are surrealists. So it becomes evident that the dream world is a unique confluence of narratives and experiences. This project has delved into the depths of dreams, exploring their cultural significances, the artistic representation and personal experiences that shape our understanding of this mysterious realm. We have seen how dreams serve a canvas for our deepest fears, desires and reflections, transcending the boundaries of reality and offering a glimpse to the uncharted territories of a human psyche. Dreams are not just a nocturnal escape. They are a powerful medium of self-exploration and cultural expression. They remind us of the boundless potential of the human mind and the intricate ways in which our thoughts and feelings manifest.